Do you hear that? A small laugh, far away. It comes from a room with no children at night. A new lady came, Madam Stella. She opened a free daycare. The entire community was glad and happy. They trusted her. Then, children grew quiet, slow, and empty. Their eyes lost sparkle, and each time a child stirred, Madam Stella looked younger. Ruth found her son on the mat at night. Madam Stella was whispering to his ear. She reached for her phone. Her hands shook. She called the town. What they found next changed everything. Ruth worked 9 to 5. She wakes early. She cooked. She dressed Kelvin. She leaves for work. She returned late. She dreamt of sleep. She dreamt of days when money is easy. Kelvin is bright. He reads before school. He asks so many questions. He loves puzzles and stories. His laugh is loud. He runs fast. Ruth was proud of his son. One morning, a van came to the town. The van had a bright paint. A woman stepped out. She was wearing a loud, elegant dress. Her head wrap is perfect. Her smile is wide. She says, I will help the community grow. Free daycare for working parents. People clapped. They cheered. Ruth heard the news. Her heart lifted. Free care, safe place. She thinks of Kelvin and the bills. She thinks of the rest. Madam Stella opened the daycare. A big room, toys on the shelf, no crayons, a big ABC playmat in the middle, write letters, soft surface, kids sit and play. Parents live with lighter steps. The town breathed easier. The mat was at the center. Kelvin loved the bright colors. He ran to the center. He sat on the mat and clapped. Ruth smiles. She went to work. Days pass. Kelvin goes to the daycare. He paints, he eats, he naps on the mat. Madam Stella teaches rhymes. Teacher says, people say the mat is special. It calms them. A teacher says, they sleep well on it. At first, the change is small. Kelvin asks few questions. He stops asking why. He doesn't talk much. He just sits and watch other children. Ruth thinks he's tired from school. She thinks he would bounce back. Others' parents notice small things too. A boy who loves shouting now whispered. A girl stopped playing as she used to. They shrug at first. Life is busy. Work is heavy. Madam Stella always smile and say, they are just calm, which is good. But the real truth was the mat. The mat kept secrets. It started names like seed. One day, Ruth, Kelvin's mother, came back from work earlier. She ran down the street. Her heart beat like a drum. She called for Kelvin. No answers. Her hand shakes. She reached the daycare. The gate is open. The toys are neat. The mat is flat. Madam Stella stands near the door with a small smile. The teachers look still. Ruth smiled full. She asked, where is my son? Madam Stella's voice is soft. He already went home himself, Madam Stella said. Ruth did not believe her. She ran to the market. She knocked on doors. She checked the tiny chapel. She checked the riverside. Neighbors pointed in the same worry way, saying they have not seen him. People said maybe he was sent home, but no one had seen him. His school bag is still at the daycare. His lunchbox was there. A small blue shoe sits under a chair. The sun goes down. The market closed. Ruth shivers. She called Shade. Shade called a friend. She cried. Her voice cracked. Later that night, she went back to the daycare. Ruth slipped through the gate. The room is lit, but one small bulb was on. The mat sits at the center, like a face. In the middle of the mat sits a small shape. A child. It is very quiet. Kelvin sits very still. His eyes stared at the floor. His fingers folded in his lap. He did not move when Ruth called his name. Madam Stella kneels beside Kelvin. Her hands pressed on his head. Her lips moved. She whispered words no one knows. Her voice is a soft chant. The word coiled into Kelvin's head. Ruth stops. Her hands go numb. Her mouth opens. Kelvin, she cries. Madam Stella looked up slowly. Her smile is like a steel. He was tired, she said. He needs to rest. He needs the mat. She did not move her hand from his head. Ruth moved towards her son. She pulled Kelvin into her arm. He is warm. It smelled like soap and the room. He did not smile. He did not ask what was going on. He stayed away like a lost boy. Ruth backs away. Her eyes burned with fury. She pulled out her phone. Her fingers shaking so much that she could barely press the numbers. Hello, police, she screamed into the phone. My son has been trapped by a woman. They kept him. He's here. Madam Stella is doing something to him. Please come down. Ruth ran outside. Without looking back, she banged the metal plate on the pot. She shouts so the whole market hears. I had found my son. He had been kidnapped by Madam Stella. Madam Stella has him. Ruth screamed so everyone could come outside. Her voice cut through the night. A crowd formed at the gate. Torches cut the dark. People pushed forward. A police stepped up. Firm voice. What is happening? Ruth held Kelvin high and pointed to the mat. She was touching his head. She was chanting. She lied. She kept my son. Ruth said everything she had seen. Madam Stella's smile was smaller. Her hand trembled. She placed both palms on the mat like it's afraid. People demanded answers. Ruth stands tall. She says, you took my son's life. You took his name. Her voice shakes, for it was strong. Madam Stella speaks. Her voice is soft. She tells the truth. He said a shadow came. A voice promised youthfulness. Give me a name at the moonlight, it says. She thought it would be only one time. She thought it would only take 1 year. But the mat kept asking. It wanted more children's smile. Madam Stella cried. She said she did not mean to hurt children. She said she was scared of growing old alone. The town is hungry. Some want her punished. Some want the mat board. Madam Stella begged. She promised to stop. I will give the mat what it needs, so no one else will suffer. Her eyes are wide with fear. Ruth does not trust her. She wanted justice for her son. Madam Stella tried to ask for forgiveness from the town, but the trust was lost. She reached for the mat. The mat moved like a living thing. It called. It hummed. People stepped back. Something in the air tightened. Madam Stella starts. She placed herself in the center of the mat. She sits. She tells the town, if the mat wants me, let it take me. Her voice was steady. She looked at Ruth and asked for forgiveness. Forgive me, she said. Madam Stella began to sink. The mat wrapped around her like water. Threads moved up her arm. The town screamed. People tried to pull her out. The threads tightening her body. Her smile freezes. Her face smooths into a younger version. Then the cloth pulls on her hair. Her body folds and folds. The mat closes. The center seemed seals. Madam Stella was gone. Nobody, no trace. Only threads lying loose on the floor. The mat is heavy and still. The villagers were still hungry. People cut the mat into pieces. They burnt most. They burnt small threads remaining on the floor. Some children come back brighter, but some children keep a hollow. Some memories are gone like smoke. This is the end of the story. Madam Stella was evil. She stole children's smiles and happiness to make herself younger. She took their laughter and their names and hid it in the mat. Every child who sat on that mat grew quieter and dimmer each time the mat was fed. Her face smoothed and her laugh sounded younger. In the end, she sank into the cloth and vanished. and the town was left to remember what she had taken. This is the end of the story. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please do not forget to like the story, share with me in the comment section your thoughts, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories like this. See you next time. Bye.